Hi guys, how are all? I hope you all are fine. So I'm back with interesting video, and also welcome to a master on a new series, What If Ash Can Understand Pokemon Better. Chapter 1, The Book of Discovering Your True Self. I'm giving it a go, Ash said. I'd love to understand Pikachu and all Pokemon better. Well, that's what it's here for. Lily replied, so, go ahead, Pika. Kikapi. Kikaku noted, as Ash carefully took a drink of the magic potion they'd spent so long trying to make. Then there was an indescribable pulse of golden light, and when it faded there was a weird white and gold Pokemon about the size of a Standler standing next to the cauldron, with Ash's head on its head. Huh, the Pokemon said. What just happened? What kind of Pokemon is that? Misty said. I've never heard of a Pokemon with a raving like that. Wait, Ash, is that C? Of course it's me, the Pokemon replied, then noticed that he'd waved a wood around instead of a hand. Oh, wow! It turned me into a Pokemon instead of making it so I could understand Pokemon. That's weird. I guess you do have a better idea of what it's like to be a Pokemon now, Ash. Kikaku said. Oh, wow! Ash enthused. I did understand that. Kikaku, so it works. This is not in the grimoire, Leslie said. I should check what Pokemon I am now. See if my Pokédex can recognize me. Ash said. Reached for his bag and paused. Huh? I guess I don't have hands at the moment. Kikaku, can you help? Sure thing, Ash. Kikaku agreed. This is actually kind of funny. I wonder what you are. He rummaged in Ash's bag, then brought out the red block of the Pokédex and flipped it. Open it? How do you get it to scan? It's the big button, Ash answered. Professor Oak said that way it was impossible to forget, though. Sometimes I still did at first. There, Kikaku said, proudly, as the Pokédex went beep, unknown. There are still some Pokemon yet to be discovered, Dexter reported, which made Ash droop slightly. He sighed, then perked up. The Dexter wasn't done, though. This Pokemon knows the move recover, Ash said. So if Dexter doesn't know what I am, that must mean I'm a rare Pokemon. Right. Kikaku summarized. I couldn't believe it. Ash, he blinked. Wait, egg move. Egg move, Brock repeated. That's a word for a move Pokemon knows because of who their father was. Ketchum picked up the phone. Hello, she said, then brightened. Ash, it's nice to hear from you. Hi, Mom, Ash's voice replied. Listen, I kind of need to ask about Dad, because apparently I inherited a move from him. Delia blinked, not really sure what to say. There was this potion, you see, and, well, the witch we met had done some magic, and apparently the Pokemon it turned me into is my real form and always was. Or something, Ash went on, and then my Pokédex said that I had an egg move, which is a move inherited from a Pokemon parent. Ash's mom insisted on more details from him about what he meant by magic, and how he'd been turned into a Pokemon. But once that was done there was a silence on the phone for several seconds. Ash looked down at the phone he was kneeling in front of, then up at his friends. Do you think it broke? He asked. Sorry, baby, his mom replied. I'm trying to make sure I've got everything lined up before I say it. Because, she paused again, but this time not for long enough to make Ash wonder if the phone call had it ended. There's a reason you never knew your father, Ash, she said. You see, I didn't want to tell you this because I couldn't work out how, but you were sort of an accident. An accident, Ash repeated. I don't mean that I didn't want you, Ash, she explained. I mean that I never talked about the idea with your father, and when you were on the way, and I told him, he said that he wasn't ready to be a father, she sighed. He didn't run away, or, at least, I don't think I can call it that. He stayed around for a few weeks, and wrapped up his affairs. And he said he'd make it so that I'd be comfortable. Comfortable, Ash repeated. What does that mean, Ash? What's my job, Mama asked. Ash thought about that. I don't think I have one, he realized. That's why, she replied. A lot of this is as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. As much of a mystery to me as it is to you. But, whatever was going on, Ash, I can't actually explain it, and I don't know who can. Ash thought about that. Well, I guess I've got a new thing to do on my Pokemon journey, he said, and I've got a to-do list. Step 1. Work out how to hold Pokeballs now. Step 2. Keep going on my Pokemon journey. I think there's a few more steps than that, Ash. Brock protested. You're a Pokemon now. Is it even legal for a Pokemon to be a Pokemon trainer? Kikaku said. Oh, good point. Maybe I should call Professor Oak about that. Ash agreed. He'll know. Know what? Misty said. Are you gonna keep doing this? Ash. We can understand Pokemon. There's still some of the potion left. Lily began. No way, Misty replied. I don't want to end up stuck as a Pokemon. It'll probably be a bug type anyway. Good luck, baby, Ash's mom said. Do you want me to let Professor Oak know what's going on? Yeah, I guess. Ash replied. I was just going to phone him myself. But I don't know if he's in. Actually, maybe it should wait until I visit the next Pokemon Center. I want to let the rest of my Pokemon know. You should probably let the rest of them know. Full stop. Kikaku said. I bet it's going to be a surprise for all of them. Yeah, I'll do that. Ash agreed. Thanks for answering my questions. Mom, I'm confused. Pete said. A few minutes later, and sat back with a thump. You're wearing Ash's hat. Are you really Ash? Yep, that's me. Ash agreed. Then Bailey thumped into him. You're got for legs now, she said. It's much better than to legs. You fall over it a lot less. I guess I might agree with you once I work out how to carry Pokeballs. Ash replied. I don't have vines like you do. Bailey. Oh, good point. Bailey agreed, thinking, maybe one of us can throw Pokeballs for you, Kikaku can. I can. Totodile can. Heracross could. Yeah, that's true, Ash agreed. But I bet Totodile's more interested in dancing. Dancing's important. Because it's fun, Totodile said with impeccable logic. Plus it lets you practice moving around. If you can understand us now, I've got a few things to say. Knocked, Pole piped up from a branch. Specifically, confusion. Do you have any idea why it's called that? She waved her wing around. Because, yes, it can confuse other Pokemon. But less well than confuse Ray and no more than Sunbeam. And it just involves a burst of psychic energy. It just seems badly named. I don't think I'm the one who decided that, Ash replied. So you'd have to talk to whoever was in charge of Pokemon attack names to decide that. He frowned. What is it? Ash, Cyndaquil asked. That sounds like you've just worked out how to do something amazing again. I don't think I'm the one who decided that, Ash replied. So you'd have to talk to whoever was in charge of Pokemon attack names to decide that. He frowned. What is it? Ash, Cyndaquil asked. That sounds like you've just worked out how to do something amazing again. I just thought about how I'd handle the problem I've got right now if I were the Pokemon, Ash said, sitting back on his haunches and glancing back to make sure the ring around his middle wasn't about to touch the ground. Noctowl, do you think you can teach me confusion, Ash? This is fascinating, Professor Oak said. Through the video phone, confusion was still something Ash was working on, despite Noctowl's best efforts and what Misty called natural talent. And so the actual examination going on was being done, thanks to Pikachu, moving Dexter around, taking care not to trip over the wires, connecting Ash's Pokédex to the computer, and taking Professor Oak's advice on what to look at more closely. Brock was help, too. Now, materials, Oak said. What is that ring made of? What does it feel like, Ash? And I Brock checked, got a nod from Ash, and tapped gently on the ring with a pair of tweezers. It rang and Brock listened to it before frowning. Definitely metal, he said. I'm not an expert, but I'd say it's gold. Only Ash does weigh enough for that. And I did feel that Ash volunteered. It didn't hurt or anything, though. Brock was moving on to the gems, one at each point where the Oak replied, typing furiously, are the hooves the same? They feel the same when I did something with them. Ash said if it helps a lot. Professor Oak agreed. Let's see. Smooth lake form, narrowing to a point. You don't have trouble balancing, do you? A bit, Ash agreed, but not much. It feels like standing on my human feet except for how I've got my weight more forward, I think. And what about that white surface? In general, Oakest, is that smooth skin? Or hide? It's fur. Kikaku said, it's fur. Ash agreed, repeating Pikachu, really fine fur. Is what Brock said. Oak tapped on something else on his end. An extra's camera word. Let me see. Oak said, zooming in. And again. Yes. That's extraordinarily fine. Do you even get wet? Water usually sort of rolls off. Mostly. But not completely. Ash answered. Then it dries out really quickly. It's about 5 millimeters thick. Brock supplied. But it feels solid unless you get really close. I haven't tried to cut it yet, and I sort of hope it's not necessary. Professor Oak kept thinking of new questions. But eventually he'd run out of things to check on. Well, then, Ash, he said, remember to let me know anything that happens to you. You're a completely new Pokemon that we have no record of. So try and pay attention to even something that seems minor, because it could be very important. Got it, Professor, Ash agreed. Now, can you send and summon my Pokemon through? I can indeed. Oak confirmed. Let's see. There's Bulbasaur, Muck, Heracross, and Kingler all waiting to see you. Oh, I think Snorlax is asleep, and I don't think Racy has managed to catch up to the Tortoise yet, too. Tell them. He paused. And that reminds me, Ash, I've already checked, and it seems that there's some rules about all this because of an existence of or Wens or Orc Pokemon which pretend to be humans. And some of them pretend to be trainers. Oak smiled. That's good news. Of course. All you're gonna need is a second trainer card reflecting your natural form if you want to let your team in official battles in your natural form. It's a proof that you're the same trainer. I'm going to use the photos from this examination to finalize that. So I should be able to send it to you in a day or two. That's great, Professor, Ash said brightly. And thanks for taking the pictures. Kikaku, Todd Snap has nothing on me, Kikaku announced. I had to use Dexter to confirm I was me when I got into the Pokemon Center. So it's good to know that's gonna be sorted out. And, let me know if you find out what I am. Of course, Professor Oak said. Then Vine snaked into view. Nidoking. It seems Bulbous was eager to visit you. What did he do? Broadcast. Then Bulbous put his Pokeball on Pokemon Transfer System and returned himself. A moment later it activated. Materialized the Pokeball the next to Ash and Brock. And the most senior non-Pikachu member of Ash's team came out to have a look at him up close. What has he gotten into this time? Bulbous asked. Hi, Bulbasaur, Ash said, waving a hoof. That was really clever of you, and I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. Ash frowned, concentrating hard. I really should be able to do this. The Pokeball refused to move. Actually, I can't tell if you're trying too hard or not hard enough. Noctowl admitted, I have a better chance of telling for sure if I was actually psychic. And you might have a better chance of doing it yourself if you were psychic. She flapped her wings. But, well, neither of us is psychic. Thanks for the help anyway. Noctowl, Ash said, looking back at his flight hike perched neatly on one of his spokes. How's that as a place to sit? Anyway, I had to use Dexter to confirm I was me when I got into the Pokemon Center. So it's good to know that's gonna be sorted out. And, let me know if you find out what I am. Of course, Professor Oak said. Then Vine snaked into view. It seems Bulbous was eager to visit you. What did he do? Broadcast. Then Bulbous put his Pokeball on Pokemon Transfer System and returned himself. A moment later, it activated. Materialized in a Pokeball next to Ash and Brock. And the most senior non-Pikachu member of Ash's team came out to have a look at him up close. What is he heading into this time, Bulbous? Asked. Hi, Bulbasaur, Ash said, waving a hoof. That was really clever of you, and I don't know. But I guess we'll find out. Ash frowned, concentrating hard. I really should be able to do this. The Pokeball refused to move. Actually, I can't tell if you're trying too hard or not hard enough. Noctowl admitted, I have a better chance of telling for sure if I was actually psychic. And you might have a better chance of doing it yourself if you were psychic. She flapped her wings. But, well, neither of us is psychic. Thanks for the help anyway. Noctowl, Ash said, looking back at his flight hike perched neatly on one of his spokes. How's that as a place to sit? Anyway, quite comfortable? Actually, Noctowl reported. Then, well, we are getting close to a Blackthorn. Right, Ash asked. Yes. Brock agreed. And also, what are you thinking of, Ash? Well, I can't throw my Pokeballs myself, Ash explained, waving a hoof, because the gold bits sort of stick to things if I try. So if Noctowl can help me by giving me the right Pokeball to use, then I can be the one to throw it. It'll mean I can't catch a new Pokemon as easily until I get Confusion working properly. Sure, but it means I won't have to delay my Pokemon League journey. Ash, it's months until the Silver Conference. Misty retorted. You could wait until you've got this sorted out. If you want to actually do the Silver Conference at all. Well, you still don't know what species you are. She looked at Pikachu. You get what I mean. Right. Ash is acting like all he needs to do is to work out how to move Pokeballs with his mind. And then he's going into the Pokemon League. It's still Ash. Pikachu replied. Haven't we known him for long enough that we wouldn't expect anything else? This is still Ash. He hasn't changed one bit. And he's not letting this get him down. Would you prefer to be upset? Misty looked troubled. I just realized I can't speak Pokemon. And that was a lot longer than a yes. She said. So, Pikachu doesn't agree with me. He doesn't? Yeah, Ash confirmed. I guess you got a point. See, I should find out what I am at some point. But I'm not going to do that just sitting around. If it's Professor Oak who's going in to find it out, he'll find it out anyway. And if it's me who finds it out by running into someone who knows, I should just keep going on my journey. Is that finding an excuse to do what you were going to do anyway? Noctowl asked. Curious. Don't know. Ash admitted. Then reached down with his hoof and touched the good part of the Pokeball. It picked it up as if the two were magnetized. And Ash yelled out. Come on out. Snorlax. Snorlax made a sort of snoozing noise. Do you want to work on Ice Sponge now? Or before dinner? Ash asked. We can do either. I want to make sure you have a choice. Snorlax appeared to be either asleep or deep in thought. Then rose to his feet. I would not want to delay dinner, he decided. Great, Ash said. Let's get to work. That was unexpectedly troubling, Claire said the next day. Did this happen around you a lot? You mean Team Rocket? Ash checked. Yeah, it happens all the time. They show up and try to steal something. About half the time it's Pikachu, but we drive them off. It's happened more than 100 times in Johto. Claire blinked. I already had questions about why you were right Pokemon, but now I have more of them. The Pokemon thing is magic, Ash said. I think the reason I was born human was probably magic, and then the potion that broke the probably magic spell was definitely magic. It was meant to turn me into Pokemon. We think, he shook his head. But it turns out I was already one in this. This is how I'm supposed to be. Anyway, I've got both trainer cards. So, can we do a gym challenge match? Well, Claire began. Then there was a roar. What's going on? Kikaku jumped from Ash's back to the tip of one side of his ring. Chizard. Hold on a moment, Chizard, Ash asked, turning, and waved. Hi. Chizard's wings slammed out, and he hammered the air to slow down. Then he landed in front of Ash and sniffed him dubiously. Where did you get that at? He asked. I sent in postcards for it, Ash replied. It's great to see you, Chizard. Ash knocked, Toba hinted. You were literally just talking about this? Oh, yeah, Ash realized. I forgot Chizard didn't know about it. So, I'm now Pokemon. Because of magic, I will help in my gym battle. Noctole's eyes glowed faintly, and she lifted Ash's trainer cards out of one of his saddlebags. Kikaku took them, then jumped off Ash's golden ring, and showed the important one to Claire. I've never seen a registry for a Pokemon as a trainer, but it fits, she decided. Well, either I start asking questions and we never get to the battle, or we get to the battle now and I start later. Thanks to Noctole's help, providing Pokeball switching when Ash needed it, and thanks to contributions by Pikachu, Chizard and Snorlax's Fist, all of them equally valuable combatants. Ash battled his way through the Black Thorn Gym's challenge and earned himself his 8th and final Johto badge. Well done, Ash Ketchum, Claire said, as she recalled her Dragonair. I have a question for you. Is it about Ash being whatever he is now? Misty asked. No. Actually, Claire replied, I've got lots of questions about that. I've got a question about Ash's training style as well, though. She nodded at Chizard, still out and trying to work out getting her to appeal to Charlotte for sympathy or declare it was necessary. Then in Ash's direction more generally. I believe that Chizard is a veteran of your Indigo Pokemon League. No, I really didn't handle Chizard well, Ash admitted freely. It wasn't until months later that we worked things out, and Pikachu's my starter, so that's obvious. Snorlax is newer, though. He made a sort of head-tossing motion that was sort of like a shrug. I've been trying to use a lot of my newer Pokemon, but I don't get to see Chizard much anymore, so it seemed like a great time to bring him on. That was what I was wondering about, Claire replied. It's all too easy for a trainer to rely on the same Pokemon in their second league. But it sounds like you're growing your team. That's good. She smiled at this as her 8th Johto badge. I thought I checked. I've had to do that before. Brock reminisced. Not very often, though. I haven't. Misty admitted. What's it like? You don't have to be all thoughtful about it. As Brock started explaining that, Ash trotted forwards and reached out for the rising badge. The moment he took it, though, he changed color. What? Kikaku asked. What just happened? Claire said. That's not a coincidence. Right. What do you mean? Ash said, looking around, and caught sight of his ring. I just heard some voice I didn't recognize say something. I've gone purple now. Is it on all the gold bits? Is one oh? What now? Brock asked. Ash, can you get your Pokédex out? Professor Oak's going to want photos. Noctole, can you help? Ash asked. And Noctole's eyes glowed again. She lifted Ash's Pokédex out of his saddlebags, and Ash put down the rising badge so he could do part of passing Brock the Pokédex. The moment he did, though, his memory gained its golden color and the exposed hide on his belly and head changed back from green to black. Ash, Kikaku said urgently. What did that voice you heard say? Repeat before you forget it. Huh? Right. 3 beings were born to bind time and space. Ash recited. That sounds familiar. Claire decided. It's something to do with the dragon gods, Dialga and Palkia. which are the gods of time and space. I don't know what it means by three, though. I don't know why I heard it at all, Ash said, and poked the rising badge again. He changed color for a third time in less than a minute, cocking his head on its side, then shook his head. Nope. Didn't hear it that time. I don't know why I heard it at all, Ash said, and poked the rising badge again. He changed color for a third time in less than a minute, cocking his head on its side, then shook his head. Nope. Didn't hear it that time. Let's get those photos, Brock decided, and can I check if your ring is still metallic? Sure, Ash agreed. Can you do orange? Chizard asked. Orange is a good color. An hour or so later, and some way to the west. Lily the witch looked up in surprise at the sight of a Chizard approaching. It could be a problem, she said, reaching for a bottle, then frowned and looked closer. Crow. Is that Misty? Misty, Crow replied. Sure enough, Misty was riding on the back of the Chizard, and she got off a bit unsteadily once Chizard had landed. I really hope you haven't moved your cauldron in the last several days, she said. Ash was around here when he took the potion. Right, yes. Why? Lily asked. Because the idiot didn't even think to check what had happened to his badges until he earned a new one, Misty replied. They were all pinned to his jacket, which vanished or something. And he didn't realize until he tried to pin the rising badge to his jacket, which he doesn't have anymore. So I really hope the badges just fell off when his jacket disappeared. Or we're going to have to work something else out. HMM, Lily said. Then turned to Murkrow. Do you know something about that? Murkrow looked shifty. If you did collect them. Well done, Lily told the dark type. It helped out. We just need them back now so Misty can take them to Ash. I guess I can't trade you a couple of Cascade badges, Misty decided. Huh? Right, she turned to Chizard. Thanks. Sorry, I forgot to say that before. Chizard made a sort of rumbling noise. So, none of the rest of them knew that cool were changing thing, Ash decided, putting the Zephyr badge back down in his new badge case. I guess that's gonna be a mystery for a while. Thanks for picking them up, Misty. No problem, Misty said, after some consideration. So, what are we going to do now? Are you going to do the Silver Conference? She looked conflicted. It'd be weird for you to take part as a Pokemon, but I guess I can't come up with a good reason you shouldn't, unless you just go and hide. And that doesn't seem like you at all, Ash. That's right, Ash agreed. This is who I am now, and I don't know what that is. But I'm still me inside, and I'm not going to give up on my dream of becoming a Pokemon Master. Whatever that means, Kikaku said. It means being the best, Ash replied, and not just the best at Pokemon battling at school. But, I guess I mean that. I don't want to win because I have strong Pokemon. I want to win because I've made my Pokemon strong. He waved a hoof. I know that's a sort of similar but not the same thing. It's only a bit different. But it's important to me. And apart from that, mostly it's just that. There's nothing I can't do. I can work with my Pokemon to do anything I have to. I can know how to solve problems. It's the kind of thing, I guess, that makes sense. Kikaku nodded. And I'd be happy to go all the way with you. Ash knocked. Cole decided on her own initiative to put Ash's badge case in his saddlebags. But it's still months until the Silver Conference, Ash added, mostly to himself. I guess I should spend the time training you guys to make sure you're ready for it. Especially because I can now talk to you. First, we're taking a vacation, Misty said. In no uncertain terms. We have to go back to New Park Town anyway. Unless we trek past Mount Silver to get to the Silver Conference. And if we go south to New Park Town we can visit Altomare. That's a city I've always wanted to visit. She looked at Brock. What do you think? I think Altomare sounds great, Brock replied. It's supposed to be full of canals and girls. Chizard tripped Brock up with his tail. And, yeah, Another idea seems to have legs. 4 of them, specifically. The cover art is largely based on the Arceus Sugimori picture, but modified by me to reflect how Arceus actually looks. It's by me, because apparently I can art it a bit, and no, nobody has any idea what an Arceus actually looks like, even in the Steep, which is not very far in the past. The ARC phone goes without comment, which I am using to conclude that what Arceus looks like is very, very rare information. Thank you for watching this video. It took a long time for me to find, and I hope you enjoyed this video.